My friends and I had been driving home from a high school basketball game against a rivalry school. I was with my friends Sabrina, Dawn, and Kayla, and we were driving home in our small town called Northbrook, Illinois, on a Friday night. So I had dropped off one of my friends, Dawn, and I was pulling out of her street, which is a very small road, and trying to make a left onto a major road called Dundee. I had cut my wheel left and was inching up slowly, waiting for cars to stop coming, and I had noticed a black Escalade that was coming my way with its right turning signal on, thinking that it was going to turn into the street that I was coming off of. All of a sudden, I had noticed the Escalade was suddenly speeding and not trying to turn into my street, but trying to just switch lanes. So instantly I had to cut my wheel right to avoid being T-boned by this Escalade, and I was hit by him and had gotten in an accident just in front of the left side of my driver's door. I was extremely anxious. This was my first car accident ever. I'm a very good driver, and I was very rattled and anxious, and so was the man who I had collided with. And I did not interact with him. I had just seen him a ways away. My friends were there to comfort me, and a man who had seen the accident from a distance stopped to help us and call 911. So the police had come and cited me for a ticket for failing to yield. I was upset, but I knew that this would be resolved, or so I was hoping this would be resolved. So a few days later, I'm at my house and I get a lawsuit delivered to my door from the man who I had crashed with, and he was suing me. So I went to court with my dad when my court date came up, and I have never been in trouble before. This was my first time. And my dad is whispering behind me as we're going through security at the courthouse, "You're a criminal, Alex. Court is for criminals." I had already been very nervous, so these comments my dad was making were not helpful in any sense. We find my lawyer, and we go into the courtroom to wait for my case to be called. When my case was called, we went up to the stand, me and my lawyer, and we had noticed that the other man's lawyer and the other man who I had crashed with were not present. So instantly, this had all happened so fast. The judge had said some legal jargon to my lawyer said some legal jargon back, and before I knew it, I had my license, and I was driving back on the road. So after this, I had realized that I just need to be a little more careful when I'm driving, and also I'd gotten a AAA card, so you don't get your license taken away.